Welcome back, everyone, to the channel. Today's video, as you guys see in the title, the top 3 keys to getting started in real estate investing. I just wanted to share with you guys kind of to focus you in on the top 3 keys to getting started, whereas that you guys can start making traction this year, or it's early on in 2021. And just want to help as many real estate newbie investors to help them get started as with the journey. It's not hard, but it takes some dedication. It takes some attention to detail, and but it's definitely doable. It's not something that you have to be a rocket science. It's not rocket science by any means of the imagination, but you gotta put into work, and you gotta do what you gotta do to get it done. So I won't take too long, but the number one thing to get started going forward with getting started in real estate investing is get the basics. You got to get the basic knowledge, the basic understanding. And there's a lot of places. You're starting right here, right now, in one of the great places to get it here on YouTube. You're watching this video, you're watching my channel, and I'm giving you value and giving you guys content that from life experiences, from the deals that we've done in the past, from the deals that I'm doing now, and just sharing that with you guys so you guys can learn from my mistakes, from my successes, and we call it the cheat code. You can kind of streamline your process where you can bypass some of the hurdles and the roadblocks that are out there. So get the basics. There's a lot of places that you can get at YouTube. There's a lot of content, books that you can lean on to get experience. One of the number one books that helped me to get started in real estate investing was Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. That book was phenomenal in changing the way that my mindset, the way that I thought about real estate, and how I looked at businesses, investments, working for income versus having other people work to generate income, or having assets that produced income versus you trading your time for a job is the only way that you get income to pay your bills and for you to live, which is a problem. If you only have one source of income, which is you actually spending time working, you're setting yourself up for failure because you're going to be working a long time in order to sustain yourself. Versus if you're taking income and you're investing it, and over time you're investing it in appreciating assets, then over time you can stop working so much for your time, and then you can look at doing whatever it is that you want to do with your time, because your investments, your assets are paying you versus you actually having to work to get paid. And so that's one of the biggest things that helped me with that book. But there's podcasts out here, there's meetup groups with people that's interested in the same thing that you're doing, with other seasoned investors that have been successful, that are actively investing, that can share their stories, that can mentor you hands-on and get started. That's one of the things. I didn't have a mentor coming up in real estate, but I was digging into books. I was understanding. I was taking the things that I do for my day job with project management, and I eventually got into fix and flips and managing projects, and that's how kind of what got me to where I am today with real estate investing. But it took time. It's a journey. It's a process. It's not a get rich quick scheme as some people make it. But it's worth it. It's definitely worth it. And now I can start to see a lot of the fruits of my labor from years in the past that are now bearing fruit today. And that's one of the reasons for my channel. If you guys watch some of my other videos with me just giving back my why with doing this, is to provide an avenue and motivation for people to get started. And with that, we'll go into the second key to being successful as a real estate investor, and that's finding your niche, finding where you want to get started so you can laser focus in on that in order to get into the details of it, understand it, and then start being successful at doing it. And that's one of the things. There's so many different ways that you can get started in real estate investing, so you really got to just hammer in on what really gets you going and what really works in your situation, based on your family structure, your job structure, and the amount of time that you have free, the amount of money that you have access to get started. All that kind of dictate how you get started. And whether it's single family homes, just buy and hold, or if there's fix and flips, there's wholesaling, there's self storage, there's apartment buildings, there's mobile home, there's new construction, there's vacant land, there's an enormous amount of different niches within real estate that you can dig into and get focused. Parking lots is a new one that just kind of came on my radar. So there's all kind of different niches that you can go, but you don't want to spread yourself too thin and it's like you go from one thing to another, but just kind of focus into what works for you. And one thing for me, I started from rentals, from just moving job every couple of years, the military moving around and keeping the house as a rental. Like, okay, this is cool. Let's get some more rentals in Birmingham and, in a high cash flow in the area and buying rentals. So we bought a few rentals and then we found a house for $6,700 online. It was an auction foreclosure and Second Avenue there in Birmingham, and we bought it, put 14 grand in it, and we rented it out for 750. It was like, okay, cool. So we did a project, we managed it from long distance, and then we eventually sold it and sold our other rentals the following year, and then we got started as real estate flippers, and we did our first flip project in the Alexandria, Virginia market, and then we started doing fix and flips in Birmingham a couple of years, and we kind of just rolled that into it, built up the income, and and then we started doing fix and flips in Panama City. And then at that point, we started keeping on some as rentals and, sell a few, then keep a few. And kind of that evolution, and then come up into June of 2020, and we bought our first apartment building, an 18 unit there in the Panama City, Florida market. And so there's all these different niches, and so you just find something to get started, and usually you can transition as you grow and get one down pat into it. But for me, I started with systems in place to build a business, whereas that I started working with people, managing contractors, understanding the program project management side of it, and how to hire people and work as a team and lead an organization. And that way it doesn't require my time. I can spend my time on being great at doing my W-2 job, and then I just check in with people in the evening, or my wife can pay for things during the day and whatever, and she can make decisions too. And you try to make a system behind it, whereas that, hey, we got a agreeable grade. We got our color that we use in every one of our flips that works in our market. We know what kind of floor we're going to go with. We know what kind of cabinets, if we're buying new cabinets, if we're not going to paint them. We know who our roofing contractor is. We know who our electrician company is. And so we can bring those skills in. And then we got a phenomenal GC with Lamus. Shout out to Lamus that does all of our skilled labor, that gets all that stuff coordinated with the schedules, with the guys that come in to do all the sheetrock paint, floor installations, and all the kind of the carpentry stuff that you need to kind of round out with installing windows and all those type of things. And so you just kind of build a team, but that works for me. That may not work for everybody. And you find where your lane is, and then you go into the third key, which is, to me, the most critical key: take action. You can listen to videos, you can watch YouTube all day. You can go to the meetups and just sit in a room and listen to all the people that are crushing it in your market. But at some point, you got to take action. And until you take action, you won't get started. If you don't take the shot, then you'll never hit it. So you're definitely have to take action, lean forward. It's going to be scary. There's going to be fear. One of the things that one of my mentors shared with me is you got to become comfortable being uncomfortable. And whatever it is, if you're uncomfortable shooting video, you gotta get comfortable with it and embrace it and do it. If you're, it's a risk. Signing your name to a house and a $50,000 budget and not doing if you don't do your homework, then yeah, it gets scary. But if you do your research, you do your analysis, then it's not scary. And as you do it, you get that much more confident, experience. If you partner with someone experienced, that'll help you avoid a lot of the short-term issues that you can have. And, so there's ways to do it, but you got to take action and you got to align yourself with the right person. I'll tell you, I didn't have a formal mentor with all the stuff that I was doing. I was a podcast junkie with Bigger Pockets. I was reading all the books and I had to take action. And I had paralysis for a while before I took action. And but I was smart enough to read about it and understand how people were being successful with it, and bring those traits into my business with what I was doing. And so, but you can learn from a lot of people. You can learn from myself. You know, check out my website, opinvestnow.com. Content on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you hadn't already. Hit the thumbs up if you're liking the content, and just align it with the right people. There's resources out there to make you successful, more so now than ever before. So there's no excuse for not taking action and getting it done. So those are the top 3 keys in order to get started in real estate investing. And definitely take heed to it, take action, get started, figure out what your niche is going to be, and then just get out there and crush it. Drop down in the comments some of the fears that you guys had with taking action, or if you currently haven't started as a real estate investor, share some of the fears that you have right now that you have to overcome, and then let me know if I can be a benefit. We're always looking to do deals in markets, and one of the things that we're doing in 2021 is we're doing a lot more joint ventures where we're partnering up. Don't worry about the money. You find a deal, let us know, and we'll bring the financing to the deal, and we'll do a 50-50 partnership. So that's something that we're doing in different markets, and giving back to people, and then just teaching people how to manage a project and how to get started is something that we're doing with our company this year, and looking to continue to grow the channel with each and every one of you guys. So always reach out if you need to, and I'll see you on the next video.